In most paintings, we see Jesus carrying his cross, but in Judea, wood was expensive. Therefore, the Romans had set up a number of permanent upright stakes in an execution area known as Skull Hill, or Golgotha in Aramaic. Jesus, like other condemned men, only carried the crossbeam, known as a patibulum. Carrying the entire cross would have been beyond the strength of any man. But the crossbeam was still heavy, at least 75 pounds by some estimates. Eventually, Jesus arrived at the place of execution. Today, that place is marked by the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Jesus was forced to lay down on the crossbeam, and a nail was driven through a spot just below the wrist, between the radius and ulna bones of the forearm. Roman nails were very large, as much as 6 inches in length. Then the procedure was repeated on the other arm, producing another wave of intense pain. The soldiers then raised the crossbar and placed it in a notch on top of the stake. Jesus was now suspended from a cross in the shape of a capital T. Next, the Romans squeezed the ankles of Jesus sideways into a small wooden block, which was then affixed to the stake, with the nail cutting through both the ankle bones and the block. Evidence for this came to light in 1968, when the skeleton of another Jewish victim from the 1st century was excavated in the vicinity of Jerusalem. The ankle bone of the condemned man was still affixed to a Roman nail, in between wooden fragments. Finally, the Romans nailed a sign to the cross that described the crime of the victim. After all, the whole purpose of a public crucifixion was to serve as a deterrence. The notice read, mockingly, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." It is the 4th hour, Friday, the 15th of Nisan, around 10 a.m. The sun slowly tracks across Skull Hill. Suddenly, Jesus cries out with all his might,
"Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani."
It is a quote from Psalm 22, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And then Jesus sags against the nails that hold him. The rabbi from Nazareth dies of asphyxiation, compounded by loss of blood, shortly after the 9th hour, at approximately 3:10 p.m.